Morning guys, today I'm in Carneyscreek, south of Boonah, and we're heading up Teviot Brook to get to the base of Teviot Falls and Teviot Trib Falls. So originally I was going to try and cut in off the head road on a little bit of an angle to save a little bit of time, semi-steep and semi bit of a bash off the road. But Steve Hounslow, shout out, check him out Instagram. He recently just did this just from a creekhop, just straight from the road, walking the entire way, and I just figured fuck it, maybe I'll just go the same way he did. Seems maybe just easier, so we'll give it a good crack. And yeah, it's been pretty good flow in the last few weeks. It's probably died down a little bit. It's probably not even as good as it was when he saw it, but however, it's still going to be decent. So let's get in it. Nice clean cool water. It is February, probably about 22 degrees, not that hot yet. And yeah, hopefully not too much fucking shit to take up the creek. It'll be good as gold. Now, when you look at Teviot Falls from the road, you can see the Trib Falls like right next to it. There's also potentiality of a couple other little tribs on the way. There's a log's been cut there. Not sure why. Yeah, so we'll see how we go with that. They're not priority, I don't know if they're going to really flow, but if they do, you might get some bonus falls or something. So fuck, this is super clear water. Wow, it's actually really nice. So yeah, when Steve did it, he didn't get to the tribs at the base because he said a thunderstorm was rolling in. So my goal today is to try and do that plus anything else we can do. So see how we go. And after that, this is about I think about 3k's return or something. The idea is to do a couple of waterfalls on Carneyscreek as well, so we'll see how we go with that afterwards. They're going to be probably about 1.5k return. Plus with two waterfalls on a trib right near each other, technically private property, so we'll see how that goes. I'm sure we can sneak past the house. Yeah, see you up here once we hit our first branch tributary. Sorry, give me bumps there. It's 3k's each way, 6k's return for this Teviot. I knew it was 6 in my brain. I was like, huh. Got a little bit of sticky Roger little plants. Looks like fake weed. A few of these pines. And yeah, a bit of ferns. A little bit of lantana, which we love. Look at the creek. There's just loads of the pines just popping up. It's burst. We hit a fence now, which is interesting. It's supposed to be a national park, but anyway, we don't care. So Teviot Falls runs off mtsuperbus, which is the highest mountain in southeast Queensland, if you weren't aware. And yeah, I've already been to the top of these falls and the top of the Trib Falls. When I climbed mtsuperbus, I did a little detour and I sussed out the falls from the top, which was pretty good. And now I finally get to check it out from the base. So yeah, the trees will jump over here. Alright, so this is going to be a pretty flat creek. I hope there won't be too much cascades really on the way at all, because this waterfall just drops sheerly straight off vertical side of the range. Now mind you as well, it's quite wide. It's got a lot of overflow sections where it can, you know, really flow like little islands and stuff around, little islands I should say. The other thing is weird is too, there's a lot of sand in here, like a lot. And it's no sandstone, so that's pretty weird as well. Anyway, this is log cascade. Alright, so we got a bit of a split here. I think it's just an island because it doesn't have any trib coming off here yet, which is pretty weird. This is roughly the closest part of the road, just somewhere up there where I was going to cut in. And it's not a hell of a distance, but you can't even see the road, but mind you, it is so thick and even that little bit steep, so I would have got drenched and scratchy. I think if we cut up the creek, it's just easier. Let's stick around to the left-hand side of this. Aha! Got a little bit of sandstone here. That's interesting. Finally, we see the source of it. Alright, so I think that actually was the creek going the other way. I don't think it was an island, because it seems like now I've got a section of lantana here, and it looks like no one's come through this. I've just snapped all this away. And then the creek's splitting again, and it looks like Google's not loading very well, and my guy is not well, guys telling me I'm off it a little bit, so I think this is actually these two other tribs near the road, so I'm going to double back. I was going to entertain these afterwards because look, it's flowing and there's still potentiality of waterfalls up there, but I don't want to do them first. I want to get to where I want to get to first. So we'll just go back here, take the right way. Alright, so I went back to the right creek. That's where Steve's track is anyway, so I went that way. And now I've actually come up to a section where the creek's splitting back left again. So it definitely actually was an island, but it was a fucking large fucking island. So anyway, so we might actually just go back the other way just for interest on the way back. It's very hard to see him, he's camouflaged, but there is a lace monitor just right up the tree. Right there in that branch. Anyway, the creek's winding around, we're starting to see the cliff line. Can't see the waterfall yet, but I'm sure we'll see the top of it pretty soon. Maybe 1/4 of the way there. Check this out. Looks like fucking dark shale, almost like a fucking block of coal. Alright, so I started at 8, it is 9, and we are halfway. So it'll be fucking 2 hours each way. So yeah, looking at 4 hours return. We'll see how this goes to plan. Should be out by lunch. Alright, so we're coming along the creek now. You can start to see a bit of a cliff on the left. So this is going to start closing all the way up as we get there. So when I said there was that island at the start, that is correct. And then also when we noticed that creek was splitting into two again on the left one, the one I went up first. So that would have been the island rejoining, and also that left waterfall or tributary anyway. And that left tributary will be going on the other side of this cliff wall because that's not here. So yeah, it definitely goes somewhere and definitely can drop off something. So we probably will check that out after. We'll see how we go. Alright, so that rock wall on the left, it kind of either went fair way in and then it kind of just like naturally rolls down, which is a bit weird. But then it does kind of come out again. So I guess it's kind of just coming and going. We definitely see our cliff line in distance, so we're getting this closer. Well, I nearly stood on this fucking carver snake. He's now bailing on me. Fucking, I snapped the stick right in front of him. And definitely would have woke him up. That's for sure, he's moving. Alright, so we've had like a landslide on the side here. They've pushed all this fucking rock and shit in here, so it's really clogged the creek up. We've had a pretty flat run, but I don't think it'll continue too much, but see how we go. We're 3/4 way there. Alright, we're nearly there. We finally got our first sight of the waterfall. Well, this is only the Trib waterfall, but she's still pumping. I didn't even check these from the road to the top before I did this today, but I knew it was going to be flowing well. They had a lot of rain like on, I don't know, 4 days ago. On the left here, it looks like actually you can almost get out here. It's not even that bad, like in terms of steepness. It's pretty soft clay because or landslide, but it looks like you'd almost be into your way up. However, topographic lines do say it gets super steep at the end. That cliff must come around and it is hiding, so it looks like a false sense of you can get up it. I don't think you actually could. Alright, let's keep going. Well, we're on the homeward stretch now. It's getting more like pushed in the creek, and there's lantana on two sides. Look at this fucking rock. That rock is fucking huge. That's probably like 50 kilograms. Weighs fucking 2 meters in the air between those two fucking trees. That's insane how that can even happen. Look at the lantana on this side. Holy fuck. Right, let's keep going. So I can only imagine this. I don't know, like as if the water level was that high and it pushed the rock up, it could have been, but either that or the trees falling and the rocks bash into it at the same time, I don't know. Alright, here's our first look at proper Teviot. Fucking pumping. Pretty happy actually. Let's creep up to the base, and then we'll get up to the Trib Falls, and then we'll check about maybe the other Trib on the way back out. We'll see how we go. But, yep, it's fucking great. It's sunny now. Alright, so this is our split of our Trib. Just a bunch of boulders, but you can just see the water's coming out of two different ways. Now, it's actually funny because there's discrepancies on which one is Teviot Falls, whether it's the left or the right fucking waterfall. On QTopo map, it's marked as the left. On Gaia, it's marked on the right. Which one is it? I kind of feel like it's the right one because you see that better from the road and it seems to flow more, but yeah, anyway, is what it is. Let's get up here, let's go to the right first. Alright, so there's a few big boulders, you've got to pull yourself up. You're really got to be yeah, fit for the last bit, because this is the hardest bit, just to wind our way around past this lantana fucking shit. Alright, it's gonna do a little bit of chopping here just to fucking get through this rock, because it's all this fucking nasty ass raspberry and it's not quite easy just to get over without getting fucking into a hole or just getting fucking scraped. So I'm just gonna cut my little way through. Not too bad, luckily. Alright, there hasn't been much cascades. This is kind of like, not a bad little one right before we get there. You can see our cliff wall is so close now. It's fucking literally like, I don't know, a few more corners. Little S-bend, just there. I had to chop quite a bit of lantana bits. I think Steve must have just pushed through it, but I'm a bit more fucking... once the cutters are out, I just keep cutting, that's the thing. So I was just holding them going, chop, 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 chop. But yeah, at least I got a faster exit. Alright, it's got another little cascade, just little rocks here to get up, and then we're pretty much, we should be on the flat fucking last bit to get there. You can see that the water is pumping just there. There's also like a little bit split in the creek. It's just like, it's going for the lantana there, so it's easy to go and go on this side. But I can see all this fucking raspberry shit on top there. You're gonna have to chop to get out. Fucking fun. But yeah, we're so close. But anyway, this is just like a little island. They just join there. All right, so here we are, Teviot. So we're on a bit of an angle here, so we can try and get all of it in. We'll try and get up closer, but it is definitely pretty close up against it to try and get the whole shot in. It's also glary as fuck right now, which is not helping the situation. But yeah, the joys. And bit of views looking back out. Just saw a car drive past up on the head road. If they'd stop to look, they might even see me. Alright, so by the time I got up here and fucked around with those boulders and did a bit of chop chop, it's taken nearly actually 3 hours to get here, so 50 minutes for the last fucking 100 metres is just crazy. Anyway, it's fucking epic. Look at that, Bolsk. It's very hard to get like perfect shot of everything because we had to climb up this fucking dodgy hill to yeah, try and spy it better. But yeah, we got her. Now we'll check out the trib. The wind's been blowing the falls a little bit left and right, but luckily at the moment it's a little bit stable. Oh, it's come off the top. That's crazy. Not really, but maybe. It's funny to see things from this different perspective. Woo! Well, as I climb up here, like the view is just fucking epic looking out. So good. Woo! Amazing. See me up Barney in the distance. Alright, let's get down to that trib. Alright, so I'm back down. I'm on my other main trib, working my way up. Got a little bit of stuff to cut, and I reckon it's still going to be a lot more because it's fucking very thicky fucking vegetation before we get to that cliff line. It's only 140 metres, but it's probably going to take me fucking 40 minutes, we'll see. Alright, so I had this little split in the creek, and we've got this dry gully here, and it's kind of like an open, nice run. My only concern is that it may not join back to the creek that I can hear flowing, which is next to me there. I hope it will. I see the brick wall, or the cliff wall. I'll try and go a bit further and hope this will actually join back to it. If it doesn't, I've got to go back down these boulders and then join back on the other creek. It was a little bit thicker in there, that's why I decided just to go this way. We'll see if this works for me. Well, some water's appeared, so I don't know, and I haven't joined the other creek yet, but I think it should be maybe just up here, otherwise this is a whole different fucking thing. But says I'm on the right creek on the map. By the way, I saw my first gimpy here. This fucking bastard just stung me. Thank you very much. Alright, so we're making our way up the trib. If you look back, you can spot Teviot again. I definitely reckon that is Teviot. Makes more sense. So Queensland topo, you're fucked up. Normally you're pretty good, but I can see a bit of cascades going all the way up, then I can see the first level of this there. This looks like it's actually kind of two tiers that are real close together for the main falls. I don't know if you can pick that up, probably not really. But yeah, and that makes more sense that this would be just the trib, so let's get there. It's lunchtime. Let's check this little gem out. This is like a little fall below the top two tiers, from what I believe, up there. We'll just see the next one coming. So this will be rarely ever seen because you can't see it from the road at all. It's all lantana shrouded in. And I can look back, I can see, where's my angle? Behind the tree there. You can just see the little Teviot popping down. But anyway, we'll get up this. The next level looks pretty big, so I don't know if we're going to get up it. I can't really tell much. I think that, yeah, that'll be lunch spot at the bottom of that. Alright, so here we are. First decent look at the main Trib Falls above. And I still reckon there's one more big level above that, but we can't see until we get up there. Let's spin around. You see Teviot again. Alright, let's get up this bad boy. Alright, well, we're here, finally. And very interesting. I'll just turn this around for a second. Got a little cascade here at the bottom. So the main first lower falls there. And then there's an upper bit that kind of joins onto it here coming down the side. Now there's also water up inside above that level, so it's kind of coming down two sides of that rock. Now I can almost get up there. It is full of fucking lantana. I don't know if I'm going to be keen, but if I do bash up, it looks like there's kind of a natural nice gully to get up with the altitude, and then I can climb along, and it looks like it's just wide enough to walk, and I'm maybe get on top of this fucking waterfall and get a good look at that. So yeah, it's fucking really interesting. I'll see how I go. I'm going to eat some lunch first before I decide to do this. Teviot Falls. Teviot Trib Falls. Alright, so I've pushed some of the way up with a stick through the waterweed and got to a point where the lantana is begun. So I have to make a decision now if I want to keep going, but at least now I've got a good perspective of the upper level a bit better. So, look at this fucking branch. So yeah, that's pretty cool. See it better. So back to this, yeah, look, it doesn't look too bad. It's got to keep, if I keep persevering, I reckon I can get up it. Hopefully it'll work. Fucking crazy just to get up there. It looks like there's still another fucking, it looks like there's still another little level. So when I stood on top of this one, I must have been, I'm not even sure where I was. I reckon it must have been even on the one I can't even see. It's pretty crazy. You definitely wouldn't climb the next bit. Not easily. Alright, let's try this still. Alright, so I'm climbing up. This is a much better perspective of the upper tiers. So it's technically 1, 2, really kind of 3. I'm still going to try and get across, but it's a bit fucking sketchy now. I see it's dropping right away, but I'll give it one last crack. Get up against this rock wall and see if I can do it. If I can't do it, well, at least I got here and got this perspective. I had to cut a lot of fucking shit. It's taken me a long time to get up here. I don't think you even can appreciate or understand the lengths of fucking effort it is to get up to where I am right now, from where I just had lunch. But anyway, that's what we're here for. Alright, let's keep pushing. Alright, so I've come to the realisation that, yeah, it's just a bit too fucking steep. It just rolls right off. I'm not going to try and get over there on top of that section to get on the bottom of those falls. However, I do have a new idea, and I don't know if this is going to work, but I'm keen to kind of try it. So it looks like now I'm not too far off actually getting up. And I thought about it. I've done the worst part. I've gone all the way up this fucking steep fucking shit. Now I was going to go back the way I calm and suss those tribs out. Mind you, if I can get up this part here, which I think I can just hopefully do, we've got this cliff kind of just rolls around there. If I can get up on this green patch and just go up, I'll be up on the Superbus track and I just get out and walk the road back. It'd be fucking golden. So I'm going to give it a red hot crack. Let's hope it works. I'm not too far off it. Looking at the elevation lines, that's really the worst of it. Like, it's the last bit here, but I think it will fizzle out and I'll just push up. I think there'll be a break in the cliff, so let's see if it works. Alright. This is a bit disappointing, but I'm going to have to go back the way I come. It's just slightly too dodgy. I've fucking tried about half an hour, a couple different ways to get up. And it's like almost attainable, but it's just fucking nerve-wracking because it's so loose. There's nothing to grab. There's not enough trees. And it's more vertical than what it looks, and there's more cliff under the fucking grass, and it's more sheer straight up than the angle it kind of looks like on, you know, when you're staring at it. Plus, there's still the last section of wall way up there, and I don't even know it's also worrying me about getting up that as well after this fucking shenanigans taking so long. So fuck it, let's just go back. I have found this pretty crazy landslide in here, but as I walked along the edge. Anyway, let's go back. Well, it's a bit of this fucking chicken wires washed down here. I don't know if it's from the road. If so, it's fucking doesn't make sense because the road's nowhere near the top of this cliff line. Bizarre. Alright, so it's been 8 hours now. That's with the fucking half an hour lunch and half an hour fucking around trying to climb the cliff face fucking edges, and yeah, obviously just cutting lantana and fucking around doing that to make the path better. Anyway, we're on the other island split now on the way back, and we're looking to see if there is a tributary going to flow into this one. So we'll see how we go. We might do a little detour up there to look for any sort of cascade. And then maybe then we can loop out via the road. We'll just see again if it's flowing and what the go is. Just want to point out too, this creek is pretty clear. Mind you, there is a little bit of the green algae shit, which, you know, it means this creek does dry out a bit. It does get a lot of fair bit of sun. There's not really rainforest, doesn't have much canopy protection from the water, so the algae grows more. So yeah, be careful about drinking it. Alright, so this island trip is a bit more chokier than the other one, but hopefully it's not too bad. Just more closed in. Alright, so word of advice, don't fucking do this loop back thinking you're gonna fucking have a different exit exploration, because look at what I'm fucking dealing with. This is the fucking creek. I've already dealt with it already. Fucking seriously. Well, yeah, it sucks. Definitely don't recommend. Stick the other way. Alright, so finally through the hellhole, back to the little tributary that we saw this morning where I first was. I had a little look up there just then, but it's, well, you know, it's still a bit of fucking lantana overgrowing and ducking and scratchy and fucking, yeah, basically I've just had enough of fucking ducking and scratchy. And probably that last bit of the island trip just put me right off it. So, yeah, so maybe another day. It's only about 500 metres up to the falls there, but I'm just kind of, I reckon I'm done. Gonna head on out and yeah, call it a day, because we've seen everything we were meant to see. That was just a bonus, that little trip anyway. So, and it's not flowing crazy, so this island will rejoin soon enough down here. Alright guys, I'm finally back out on the road. 8 hours and 45 minutes later. So yeah, much more than expected, but hey, it is what it is, and we had a good day. So thank you all for watching. I hope you enjoyed the journey. Feel free to like, comment, subscribe, hit the notification bell to get notified of all the new misadventures. We'll catch you guys in the next one, eh? Peace out.